scheme. Last year they were more 4 down, just kind of rushed upfield. They had really good pass rushers with Wicker and those guys, and they played different coverage schemes. I just think that overall they're just a different defensive scheme. Those guys come from San Diego State, and the rocket long pressure looks and moving and slanting up front. Very similar to what we've seen from like a Texas or Washington State in terms of all the different looks and angles and slants and line games that you get. So the challenge when you play against teams like that is to simulate that practice. It's so unique and it's so different. So we're doing our best to give our offensive line, the guys, the quarterbacks, the different looks that they present up front.
Thank you.
Many weeks you've had at least one running back that has been pretty productive, maybe more than the other two, but because you have 3 that are good, is it kind of hard to know what you're going to get and when to rotate because you have 3?
Yeah, just been going with the hot guy. Last week Sid actually hurts himself on the second play of the game actually, and so you only had 2 to finish the game. And Vi got into a rhythm and really was finding some gaps and running the ball really good. So just kind of went with Vi. But Steven was running good as well. Didn't have much to work with, but I thought both of them ran really well, given the opportunities that they had in the game. But it really we have a playing rotation to start, and then who's running good, we kind of stick with them. Like Arizona State was running really good, kind of stuck with Sid, and some other games, Vi or Steven have had better games as well. So really start rotating them, and as the hot guy gets going, we roll with them.
With Vi, is he someone that could play into a 20 carry kind of game?
Yeah, Vi's doing really good. Vi's doing really good. We gotta be able to do that. And last week was a game where you get 6 in the box and you want to run it, and kind of got behind and had to do different things, but we got to start getting the ball more.
What did you learn after watching the tape?
You got to be able to run the ball when 6 in the box, and a lot of physical beats and things of that nature, and got to make our plays in zone coverage. And when they did present man, we got to make our plays in terms of whether we're throwing it and catching it or just getting open for the quarterback to get you the ball. And I thought Utah did a good job of just winning man-to-man matchups. That's something that we challenged them yesterday, challenged them after the game, challenged them today to improve in those areas. And I give them credit for executing their game plan. And we gotta play better. We gotta do better.
What do you have to do to run the ball better?
Man, just continue to get movement and open gaps, open up lanes, and that's what we gotta do. Schematically, we wanna, we got a 4 down front, kind of have your 4 down beaters, and that's what we got to in the second half, and hit a couple, but not consistently enough to rely on it to help win the game. It's going to be the same this week. We're going to have to really put the ball on the ground to help, with Jack possibly being the starter this week. We're going to have to take some pressure off of him and open up some favorable matchups in the passing game through running the ball. So, it's going to be on us in the trenches to go out and win this game.
There's been a pattern of maybe even one receiver also having a big game, but maybe the other 2 being quieter. Why do you think that's played out?
Cover schemes. Saturday was cover 2. They played deep back there. They didn't want to give up any kind of explosive passing plays in the passing game. And, they felt confident in their front to stop the run and make it a hard day. And so when you got a guy in your face and a guy over the top, it's hard to take away those guys. And then down the middle, they were shooting people and dropping D linemen at times to where you didn't have your crossing routes or your in routes. We almost threw an interception trying to throw an in route, So I thought that the credit to them, did a good job. And but Mike is doing a great job versus man-to-man. Actually, 2 men on 1 sometimes. So I give him credit. He's playing lights out. He's playing his best football. If you get anywhere around him, he's making plays on the ball at a high level. Really the best I've seen since I've been here in a long time.
What do you got to do to get Amon-Ra and Tyler going?
Well, we had the attempts. We just got to connect. You look at the game. We attempted the ball at Amon-Ra really the first 3 third downs, and really tried to give him the ball. And actually, the interception, the first one, we're trying to give him the ball. So we have to win and we have to connect when they're open.
How difficult is an offense coordinator when your offensive line is struggling?
It's difficult just because one game you go in and we're doing really, really well, and really so proud of them, and how we ran the ball coming into the game. And then, we just didn't consistently do it. We had a few plays where I'm like, this is what we expect. This is what it looks like. And you got a couple of plays where we get beat or what have you up front. And you, as a coordinator, sometimes you want to stay on track. And that's where you feel it in a game, is when you're upstairs, you're saying, man, I'm 2nd and 12, what have you. If you run the ball on first down, you don't get anything, or you choose to run it on second down when you know they're playing coverage, you don't get anything. Now you're still 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 8. You kind of feel penalized for it. So it's just about the consistency of it. You want to be able to know you're going to get something. And but they understand. We talked about that as an offense as a whole, we all have to do our jobs better.
Why do you think there's been such a variance with the offensive line from week to week?
Partly because of the different defensive schemes that we're seeing. It's been different, and you expect that anyway. But we've been seeing a myriad of different structures, and people coming into a game having shown one thing on film and totally changing it up to take something else away and having to adjust on the fly. And I give them credit for not panicking in certain moments and giving us 100% effort and doing their best and trying. And at times it works. We go to Arizona, it was the case there. We make some adjustments and ran the ball really well. Washington State, Colorado did the same thing, and we made adjustments, and they went on and did a good job of running the ball. Last week was just a tough night. We just didn't win enough to be consistent enough to rely on the running game to win the game.
You guys had, I think, like 5 first downs up until that final drive. I mean, had you been that discouraged before?
We just didn't consistently. We didn't do the third down things. You look at first one, it was tip ball. Then we don't win on another one. There's overthrow. It was uncharacteristic lack of execution on third downs that didn't extend drives when we had been doing that coming into that game. When we had been winning versus man-to-man and picking up pressures, making throws, making catches, and converting third downs to stay on the field longer. You did feel that when you look up and you don't feel like you've been on the field a long period of time. And I did feel that. I felt that. That we didn't get a rhythm until later in the game. So, gotta do better. It's going to be a challenge this week to do the same thing, and look forward to the challenge.
Thank you.